Ahatam Rangagatam Vijahasha Vrisham Hari Drishtva Tamatmanastulyam Vesham Kritrimassthitam Yatha Natam Rangagatam Brijahasa Vrisham Hari. Vaishnavis. Translation and purport. Word to word translation, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and his disciples की जय. Drishtva, seeing, tam, him, atmanaha, to his own, tulyam, equal, besham, in dress, kritrimam, imitation, asthitam, arrayed, yatha, like, natam, an actor, ranga, a stage, gatam, entered upon, bijahasa, laughed, brisham, strongly, Hari, Lord Krishna. Translation. Lord Hari laughed heartily when he saw how the king had dressed up in exact imitation of his own appearance, just like an actor on stage. Purport. Srila Prabhupada describes this scene as follows. On the whole, however, Pondrak's dress and makeup were clearly imitation. Anyone could understand that he was just like someone on stage playing the part of Basudev in false dress. When Lord Sri Krishna saw Pondrak imitating his posture and dress, he could not check his laughter, and thus he laughed with great satisfaction. Srila Jiva Goswami points out that it was a benediction from Lord Shiva that enabled Pondrak to imitate the Lord's dress and appearance exactly, a fact gleaned from the Uttarakhanda of Sri Padma Purana. Thus ends the purport. So we'll just read the translations from 11 to 15. Upon text 11, upon observing Lord Krishna's preparations for battle, the mighty warrior Paundraka quickly went out of the city with two full military divisions. Paundrak's friend, the king of Kasi, followed behind. O king, leading the rear guard with 3 Akshahoni divisions. Lord Krishna saw that Paundrak was carrying the Lord's own insignia, such as the console, disc, sword and the club, and also an imitation Sarangabo and Srivatsa mark. He wore a mock Kaustuba gem and was decorated with a garland of forest flowers and was dressed in upper and lower garments of fine yellow silk. His banner bore the image of Garuda, and he wore a valuable crown and gleaming sark-shaped earrings. Purport. Srila Prabhupada comments in Krishna, when the two kings came before Lord Krishna to oppose him, Krishna saw Pondrak face to face for the first time. Hare Krishna. Nice. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayang Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Shwa Padantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taru Vyasya Kripa Sindhu Vya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. So this is a very, very funny section and becomes more funny ahead. So here we see that how Pondarak is imitating as Krishna. And while I was reading this entire section, I was thinking that at least grossly we do not want to become like Pondarak. At least grossly we do not want to become like Krishna. But what lessons we can derive from this section where we are reading as devotees, where we are sure that no one can become Krishna, asama aurdha. We have been drilled by mercy of Srila Prabhupada that no one can become God. That's how Srila Prabhupada had come. Nirvishesha sunyavadi paschatya desatarine. So by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, by understanding the philosophy, we are very clear that we do not want to become God, and there is no possibility ever in this entire eternity that any Jivatma can become God. So, though we don't want to become God, but there are varieties of lessons that we can learn for practicing devotees from this section. So, there are two things. The first thing is called a symptom, and the second, because I'm dealing with disease, so the first thing is called a symptom, and another thing is called a syndrome. The symptom is very clearly visible. Everyone is able to detect what is the disease through the symptoms. You have fever, you have so many things, and your blood pressure goes up. So there is traceable, identifiable causes of a disease through external behavior, then they are called symptoms. And the second category of medical diagnosis is called a syndrome. But the syndrome is very dangerous because when a syndrome is appearing, the patient thinks that I do not have any disease. I'm all right. Others are able to see that he's having some disease, but even the doctors are also sometimes not able to trace what is the cause of the disease. The externally people are able to understand that there is some problem. But the patient is clear that I don't have a disease because I don't have fever. So when we were outside in the material world, we had symptoms of material disease, symptoms of Pondarak disease. But when we come in devotional service, we may exhibit the syndrome, the Pondarak syndrome. So today we'll be discussing about what is this pawn drug syndrome that a practicing devotee we may exhibit, or which can be an obstacle in our fulfillment of devotional service in getting rewarded by Krishna Prem. So this syndrome, this pawn drug syndrome, is a satisfaction we derive by self-promotion of our devotional service. So we will explain as we go ahead how this is the pawn drug syndrome. So this is a satisfaction, some sort of happiness that I am a Bhadrajan. Just by taking an external grab of a Bhadrajan or the gentleman, the Bhadra Babu. But internally, we still are not able to internalize the substance of devotional service. And that is why our soul of devotional service is as kritrimam. You see the word that is being used here? Besham kritrimam asthitam. So our Vesha as a devotional service or a devotee is just Besham Kritrimam Asthitam. We are taking the sacred signs of a devotee, putting the tilak, putting the kanthimala, wearing the dress, or even wearing the saffron robes. Kritrimam Asthitam. And why we are doing that? Because there is some satisfaction. Anandamayo Abhyasat. Nothing the Jivatma does for just for misery. We do not pray to Srila Prabhupada. We do not pray to God Nitai 2023. Till now I have not got any misery. Give me some pain so that I can really take your shelter. We don't pray for pain. We get the pain. So anything that the Jivatma does is for actually happiness. But when a Jivatma gets obsessed with the satisfaction of promoting oneself, especially as a devotee, then that syndrome is called the pawn drug within us. So prior to our spiritual life, coming to Krishna consciousness, we come from a society, from the material world, where nothing goes without promotion. You have to promote yourself. The CV, the resume, and I remember when in the fourth year, I was told that we had a circle of placement devotees. We used to make a group because it was very, very difficult to be encouraged to make the CV. Because the CV was so much of self-promotion, and after hearing 3-4 years from Radhesham, Prabhu, from all this, it becomes very difficult to make a CV. And it was really, really difficult how to make a CV. And then there are some devotees who taught us, and I got a sample CV. And I just edited that sample CV and then passed on to the next generation of devotees. And I saw all the devotees down the line have the same color combination, everything of my CV. I understood that they have really internalized the philosophy. So, but it was so difficult to write a CV. Fortunately, I was saved by devotees, Radhesham Prabhu, Acharya Ratna Prabhu, that they told don't sit for placements. But if you sit for the placements, you have to boast about yourself. And if you don't know the art of boasting and promoting yourself, you don't get a job. And that's what Srila Prabhupada says, that a person who works hard and get educated just becomes a dog. There is a famous purport in the second canto, Swa Ushta Khara, Savid So Ushta Bhara So. So dog. Prabhupada says just like the dog is having a patta and then all the employees are putting a patta and promoting, I can bark more for your company. Take me. I will take less, just your jhuta. All the CEOs and all, they are earning in crores with shares and everything. They can just give some jhuta. And for that jhuta, we are barking, 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 barking. I am great, I am great, I am great. This is my CV, this is my CV. Give me job, give me job. Yes. And this is where we have come from, a culture where we are forced to promote ourselves even for our survival. Forget about increment and luxury. Even for our necessity, the modern society is designed in a way that we need to promote ourselves. And when we come from this culture to devotional service, we start thinking, if I don't promote myself, if I don't show that I am a devotee, who knows I am a devotee? How can I really know that others should know actually I'm a devotee? If others are not validating my devotional service, then how am I a devotee? And with that notion, we use the Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang Ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So with that mentality, that is so prominent in the material world, when we come to the spiritual circle, we start using the sacred items we use in devotional service. The tilak, the kantimala, the everything, whatever we have in devotional service, we use these sacred items also for our self promotion. In last, I don't know when Maharaj took last Kartik Yatra in Puri, 2017 or 18, whenever. 18. No, 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 no. Whatever, forget about the year. So when we had gone to Puri, for many years I had not gone to home. So my father came to know that I have come for the yatra. So my father said that come to home. So I went for 1 day to stay in the night, overnight. And after the night, morning, after doing all chanting and everything, my father said, Ki, at least you, because all my uncles, if Mausis, if I start visiting the houses in Puri, then I think it will take a 1 month to visit all, everyone is in Puri. So my father said, you didn't go to there, you didn't go to there. I said, I cannot go. I have come for a yatra. I'll come sometimes later for going. And then my father said, at least you visit Tauji. Tauji is my father's elder brother. Otherwise, if you visit him, then everyone will be satisfied that you have visited everyone because he's the elder brother. So I took, I think, Balram Acharya Prabhu, and both of us, my father had given a scooty for me to drive, and then I went to my Tauji's house. My Tauji was very, very happy and to see me, and he said, you are a sannyasi, you have come to a grihastha's house. I don't think you will take anything. My Tauji gave me some fruits and everything. So that was nice. And then my Tauji had heard from my father that I have shifted to some remote location. This one, some remote location surrounded with cows. So my Tauji was shocked. Ki, Arey, I heard that you have left the city and you have gone to a remote location in Calcutta. What you are doing there? So I just said to Tauji that, look, actually, we are going to have a big temple there. So our devotees have asked me, and also many other devotees will shift there because we are going to have a big temple there. And as soon as I said that, my Tauji said, big temple? That means the previous temple which you were staying was a small temple. And this temple will be big temple. And you will be shifted to a big temple. How can temple be big or small? Temple is temple. What? What you are learning in ISKCON? I was like, my heart was pumping up and down, up and down. I prayed to Srila Prabhupada. And I said, no, no, no. It's not the way you are thinking it's a big temple. It's this temple is a small temple in the sense that there is a small area which very less people can accommodate in Janmashtami and all. We are not able to celebrate. We are going to have a big temple with a big area and all those things. Mataji said, then it's all right. If you are having a big temple for facilitating devotees, but don't get a big temple to facilitate yourself. So that was the lesson. Though I was reluctant to go and visit to him, but I understood that how we may use these sacred items of staying in a big temple, getting initiated from a big guru or a famous personality, or doing certain things which no one else is doing. Everyone else is fully absorbed in material life, and I am the one who is following four regulative principle is like the extinct species. No one eats and follows the four regulative principle. Yes. And on top of that, being a brahmachari or a monk or coming and staying in temple premises, people look like, what you're doing, man, in your life. But sometimes we may use it to fuel our ego, to think how great I am in comparison to what people are there. So I am great because I am having this, staying in this big temple, in this big project. I am great because I have got initiated from this big personality. I am great because I am doing something which no one else is doing. Has all fallen. That is why in devotional service, we should not think others are fallen, but we should think we are more fortunate. I was more fallen than them. And somehow or other, Srila Prabhupada has made me fortunate. So just changing the externals just for the self-promotion is actually sharing the same Pondrak disease that outside people are exhibiting as a symptom. We are trying to just cover up the symptom through this Pondrak syndrome. And that is why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written a beautiful song, which I was reading 2-3 days before. Dushta mana tumi kisher Vaishnav. Dushta mana tumi kisher Vaishnav. Pratisthara tare nirjanera ghare. Tava hari naam kevala kaitava. Kevala kaitava. Oh, wicked mind, what kind of Vaishnava do you think you are? Your pretentious show of chanting Lord Hari's holy name in a solitary place is only for the sake of attaining the false prestige of a worldly reputation. It is nothing but pure hypocrisy. So we must understand that these sacred items should be used in the most sacred way. Krishna is not for our self-promotion. These sacred items and this Vesha that we have taken is not for our self-promotion. It is for promoting Krishna. It is for promoting devotional service and making others fortunate. So this is the Pondrak that is within us. And here we see that behind Pondrak, as the Pondrak was going, behind Pondrak, there is an entourage of Kasiraj, which is bringing 3 Akshauhini. Pondrak went with 2 Akshauhinis, and Kasiraj is going behind Pondrak to help his friend, support his friend with 3 Akshauhinis. And that Kasiraj comes in our life, the friend, as social media. Where we saw how great devotee I am. So this friend of our self-promotion in the modern world, this friend of the Pondrak syndrome, the Kasiraj, is the social media. The Instagram, the Facebook, the all these tweeters where we saw how great I have become. Just see, give me a like, subscribe me, and make me more great. And fuel, just like this, it is mentioned, if you have read properly the first sloka or second sloka, fueled by the followers who are also foolish, like Poundrak. Prabhupada says, or Prabhupada follows writes, Poundrak was thinking he has become great. So similarly, fueled by the Kasiraj of social media, we think we have become great. Just because there is some likes by some foolish people who don't even know what we are speaking. And some foolish people, because they have subscribed, because they have to subscribe, and they have to show that they have subscribed, we think we have become a devotee. So this Kasi Raj, the social media, actually it aggravates our Poundrak syndrome. I remember how this things can be. If I look from my room, I open one window, then I can see all the chairs that are there in this park. So as I was drinking water, because my drinking water facility is just near that window, that rear window, if you have gone to my room, as I was taking water, uh, I was slowly, because doctor has said, do things slowly to me. Eat slowly, drink slowly. So I was drinking and I was looking and I saw one husband and wife or whatever it is, couple, whatever. They're just fight. I can see their expression. They're just fighting and talking, and this is shouting. This is one is standing, one is sitting, one is standing, and all these things. And immediately, 3-4 minutes after, I was drinking, and then they sat down, and then the wife take out the photograph, and both of them smiled. As they turned their head, and the wife did like this and took a photograph. They are the most happiest couple in Instagram. Besam kritrimam astitam. So this technology, the social media as a Poundrak is trying to fuel our self-promotion that how happy I am, look. How great I am, look. We are the best couple in this world. We have no fights. From time immemorial, couples have fought. But Instagram shows that no couples are fighting. They all smile and take a photograph. Yes. So in this way, these selfies and smileys and all those things have just fueled this propensity, this syndrome, this Poundrak syndrome. And we should understand that we are getting affected by it. There is a psychologist called Sherry Turkle. So this American psychologist, in 1997 when internet came, and that time, if you remember, there was social media was in the form of Orkut and all those things, which became really famous. So 1997, this lady psychologist gave a TED talk saying how internet and social media is going to change our lifestyle. And because she said in favor of the internet and social media, in favor of the material energy, she, though she was not so famous, she came in the cover page of Times magazine. Just because of his glorification of the material energy. In 2012, she again gives a TED talk where she says, she begins the talk with a picture. In that picture, her daughter and two other friends, they are sitting in the same room and they are just hooked like this to the smartphone. And that lady says they are like this for last 9 hours. They came to talk, they never talked and went away. And this lady analyzes what is the glamour behind social media. And in her analysis, which she says in a video, she says that in social media, you can edit your personality. You can step up yourself the way you can. You can show to the world how you want to show yourself to the world. When in a real-time conversation, it becomes very difficult to hide yourself, but in a social media, you can actually edit. If you are not smiling, you can smile. And nowadays, there are avatars and all, which can, even if you're not smiling, it can make a smile. You can put a glow on the face. You can do something which can reduce the pimples on your face. Oh, wow. Yes. So you can edit your personality. This is Kasiraj. Fueling our self-promotion. Fueling the Pondrak syndrome within us. Like, I was talking in Kutir with 3-4 days before. One person came with a mobile and a selfie stick and everything. Said, Swamiji, aapka interview lena hai? I said, mera interview mat lijiye. And na, interview lena hai. Kya ho raha hai idhar? मैं बोला कुछ नहीं हो रहा है आप क्या करना है बताइए ना इंटरव्यू लेना देन आई थॉट व्हिच लैंग्वेज देन बंगाली देन आई वेंट एंड टोल्ड सुलोचन गिव हिम सम इंटरव्यू एंड व्हाई दे वांट एन इंटरव्यू because they want to make they see that ISKCON Newtown has now some 4-5,000 or 10,000 whatever I don't know some subscribers. Now if I put some ISKCON Newtown clip whenever ISKCON Newtown is going on, then they will put my clip also as a suggestion. And when they put my clip, then subscribers will increase in my channel. Hare Krishna. And that's how they take clips of famous personality and take those clips and put it in your channel so that I will become famous. I will get the burnt remnants of the fame of that great personality. The charred remains, the ashes, the vibhuti. That person is great. That burned ashes, the vibhuti I will get of that great person. So cut, create, edit your personality and make yourself how great I am. The most photographed lady few months before, the most photographed lady on earth in Instagram, who has more than 45 million followers some few months before, showed up and put a reel that how she's suffering from depression last 8 years. Hare Krishna. So this Pondrak and the Kasiraj will only bring and innovate depression in our life. Because more you edit what God has given us, God has made us special and unique. More you try editing, you try to become more intelligent than Krishna. And more you edit yourself and show something which you are not, then you'll simply bring more and more misery. So this social media is also fueling our Pondrak propensity. But pure devotional service is internalizing our devotion. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And because of this culture, we are also living in a real culture. Making reels and reels and reels. We also are living in a dream world. Oh, one day I'll become a gopi. One day I'll become a gopa. Entering Sri Vrindavan Dham is very, very difficult. Muktim dadati karihichit bhaksmana bhakti yogam. Recently I was reading Brihad Bhagavatam where the explanation is given. What is the meaning of Muktim dadati karichit? Smana bhakti yogam. It is impossible to attain Sri Vrindavan Dham. And when reading it, then I understood what is the magnanimity of Lord Chaitanya, what he has done. And what is the magnanimity of Srila Prabhupada, what he has done. Sometimes we don't, when we are ignorant, we don't realize what we are getting. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj would sing this famous song, Gorara Ami, Gorara Ami, Mukhe bolile nahi chale. Saying that you are Gora, just in mouth. Doesn't work. Gorara achar, Gorara vichara. The achar of Gora and the vichar of the Gora, the deliberations of Gora and the behavior of Gora. Loile phala phale. When you accept that, then you will get the phala, the fruit of Krishna Prem. Loka dekhana Gaura bhajan tilaka matra dhari. Loka dekhan, just to show to the world and doing Gaura bhajan, tilaka matra kari, and just putting the tilak. Gopane te atyachara Gauradhare churi, and secretly doing something, secretly thinking something else. Gaura, Lord Gauranga will definitely ensure that you are exposed one day or other. So we must understand that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we want to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I need to seriously endeavor for pure devotional service. Devananda Pandit was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class. Don't think Devananda Pandit was giving class on some Veda, Karma Kanda. He was not speaking about Mukti Bhashya. Devananda Pandit was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class and glorifying the purpose of devotional service. And he even didn't make the mistake. It was his followers who did the mistake and he just allowed it. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't even wanted to look at the lens that goes through Devananda Pandit. We must understand the standard of the purity that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expecting us. We may not be pure right now, but at least we should not self-promote that I have become such a pure soul. And that too, we should not self-promote ourselves and fuel it through the kasiraj of social media. So, how to get rid, in the last 10 minutes, we will discuss about how to get rid of this Poundrak syndrome. So the first principle we understand is futility of this Poundrak. Futility of this material's recognition and fame. When I was in 12th class, there were all exams and different exams. When I remember the day of announcement of the results of the 12th class. So my parents and all, my father, mother, they were convinced that something, either in some topper list, he will be there. So they were glued to the television. And I was reading in the other room. And it was announced that I am the topper. And my mother came from the other room where there was TV to my study room and said, "Look, you have become topper. Look, you have become topper." And he was like in some other world. And I said, "What's so great? Next year someone else will become topper." My mother, it was the most shattering, devastating information that I gave to my mother, that someone else will become a topper next year. What's so great about it? Cool down. Because I was thinking my mother may not get heart attack only. What happened? So we understand it is so futile. Today we are something, tomorrow someone else will be something. Actually no one is anything. It is just some bubbles which are in this material world. So the material world is so futile, so futile. What is good, what is bad? There is a story of a devotee who was having a horse. And this horse was there, and one day the horse went away. And all people started telling, oh, so bad karma, so bad karma, so bad karma. Maybe you have done some bad karma. The horse went away. And then the horse went away. He was a male horse and brought another female horse with a couple, got married, got engaged, and came with the Paurani. And imagine, all the neighboring devotees, they said, oh, now such a good karma. Actually, we don't know, Krishna's plan. We were thinking it was bad karma. You lost the horse. You see how Krishna gave you another horse. The lady horse. The lady was very, very beautiful, the lady horse. I don't know what you call the. And then the son of the devotee, he got attracted with the seahorse because it was a lot beautiful. And he jumped on the seahorse, but the seahorse was not trained. And because the seahorse was not trained and the son was trying to jump on the seahorse was also not trained. And he was thrown out. And then the son fell and the legs and the hands were broken. And the devotees started telling, bad karma, bad karma, bad karma. You see, you are having so much of bad karma. This is all bad karma that is coming. And then the drafting came from, because there was some war and some people, the government officials came, whoever the young son is there, we will take them. And then they saw, my father said, my son is half dead only. He is not having proper legs. And so they left. And all the devotees in the neighborhood said, good karma, good karma, good karma. So we must understand this material world is the most futile place. And while trying to analyze good karma, bad karma, we sometimes forget the fortune of getting devotional service. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. Because everything is bad in this world. And we should not think that as a devotee, we have all these situations that are coming because of some good karma or bad karma, trying to analyze and spend so much of hours why this is happening in my life. We must understand whatever is happening, whatever is going on is just a futile material connection or situation. So the first thing we must understand is that the material world is very, very futile. And the second thing we must understand is that we must be fearful of this material fame. What to speak of others? Even Madhavendra Puri, who was a pure devotee, he was the beginner of our sampradaya, the rasa that came from Madhava. He was so afraid of material fame. I was sent one poster in the WhatsApp. In the poster, the tiger was there, and the tiger was chasing a deer. And the quote was written, not that everyone who follows you is your friend. So we must have a very, very detached spirit towards fame and followers of this world. And we should not fuel our pondrak propensity by seeing these followers. They may be the tigress or tigers trying to attack our devotional service. And we should be running like Madhavendra Puri. Thakure moro kshira dila loko sabajani. Dine loko bhida habe moro pratishtha jani. As soon as Madhavendra Puri understood that Thakur has stolen this milk pot for me, people will come and make me famous. Sei bhoye ratri se chalila Shri Puri, sei khane Gopinathe dandavata kari. Can you imagine? Gopinath has stolen kheer pot for him. He didn't even go and take darshan of Gopinath in the morning. He was so afraid of the fame that he thought that, no, I cannot wait to take darshan and thank you Gopinath for giving me the kheer pot. I will go in the night itself. Before morning came, Madhavendra Puri left. Chali, Aila Puri, Srinila Chala, জগন্নাথ দেখি হইলা প্রেমেতে বিহ্বল, মাধবপুরী শ্রীপাদ আইলা লোকে হইল খ্যাতি, but though he went fearing, but people came to know. সব লোক আসি তারে করে বহু ভক্তি, প্রতিষ্ঠার স্বভাব এই জগতে বিদিত. This is the swabhava pratishtha in this world. Jena vancha tar hoye vidhata nirmita. Whatever is there in the destiny, that pratishtha will come. Whatever is there in the insult, the pratishtha, the insult will come, the fame will come. This is what it is. Vidhata nirmita. One should not be any way obsessed and disturbed or very elated by it. Srila Prabhupada writes, being afraid of his reputation, Madhavendra Puri fled from Remuna, but the reputation brought by love of God is so sublime that it goes along with the devotee as if following him. Almost all conditioned souls within the material world are envious. Jealous people generally turn against one who automatically attains some reputation. So we must understand that whatever follows we are getting, they could not even follow Krishna in spiritual world. And if someone could not follow Krishna, who is Karuna Sagar, Karuna Sindhu, who is the ocean and gem of all qualities, and if he is following me, either there is some problem in me or there is some problem in him, or there is some problem in this relationship. So we should never have a glamorized version of the followers of this world. We should have a very fearful edition. We should become afraid. This person has left Krishna, why is following me? And we should only give Krishna to them and be detached. Take Krishna, remain aloof. Consequently, when a devotee is fit to receive worldly reputation, he is envied by many people, and sometimes we may also get, when a person out of humility does not desire fame, people generally think him quite humble and consequently give him all kinds of fame. This is the Pondrak syndrome. So the epitome of Pondrak syndrome is I am humble. And when we show that how I am humble, then we'll get the fame of those who are the most humble. Hare Krishna. So we must understand that this fear of material world, fear of the material fame should be there within us. And that will help us to get rid of this Pondrak syndrome. And the last thing is, we cannot fascinate Krishna through any of our material aerobics, material gymnastics. You have seen gymnastics and aerobics. They like this and they will rotate on their toes, they will jump and then fall like that. So all these gymnastics of materialism, whatever we saw externals, does not touch Krishna's heart. Krishna's heart is touched only by devotional service. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in the same song, Radha dasya rahi chhadi bhogo ahi, pratishtha sa nahe kirtana gaura, Radha nitya jan taha chhadi mon, Kenoba nirjana bhajana kaitava, Kenoba nirjana bhajana kaitava. Ever engage yourself in the service of Sri Radha and keep aloof from the vicious snake of materialistic sense gratification. The glory of participating in the Lord's Kirtan is not meant to bolster anyone's ambition for personal recognition. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's English, really. Oh mind, why then have you abandoned the identity of being Radha's eternal servant in favor of retiring to a solitary place to practice the cheating process of so-called bhajan? The most valuable treasures amongst the Lord's preachers are the eternal personalities residing in Brajadham. They never occupy themselves with begging for the worthless material reputation. If you want to become the devotee of Srimati Radharani, stop begging for the worthless material reputation. which is cherished only by the living dead. This is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling. The Brajavasis are truly infused with life, and therefore they preach in order to give life to the walking corpse of the mundane world. All the songs that the Brajavasis sing about the glories of Lord Krishna are devoid of any tinge of desire for fame. So this is the Pondarak syndrome, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling, is actually exposing that if we really want to enter Sri Vrindavan Dham, we need to do the devotional service devoid of any tinge of desire for fame. We need to do it just to assist the Guru Parampara, just to assist Srila Prabhupada in whatever way we can. And then we'll be able to enter Sri Vrindavan Dham. So today we discussed about how the outside world is showing the Pondrak as a symptom, but as a devotee, we may exhibit the Pondrak as a syndrome. And the Pondrak syndrome is having the satisfaction derived from self promotion. And how we can besham kritrimam asthitam, we can take the grave of a devotee on on a very artificial basis just for self promotion or getting some material things out of the sacred spiritual items. Then we saw that how all these things that we are having the Pondrak syndrome is fueled by the Kasiraj of the social media, and how we should be very, very careful of the social media, very careful, because it is that which actually fuels it. And then we saw how Krishna is only affected by pure devotional service just by speaking Gaura Rami, Gaura Rami. We do not become Gauras. We really have to understand the achar of Gaura and the vichar of Gaura and try to emulate them in our life. And the last, we saw three things how to get rid of the syndrome. First thing, we saw that how futile is this material life and material fame, and how futile is everything that we get in this material fame. These are all bidhata nirmita, and we should never give so much importance to it. And the second thing, we should be very afraid and fearful of the material fame, like Madhavendra Puri. Not that everyone who is following us is our friend, maybe a tiger. And the third thing we saw, that we cannot fascinate Krishna by material gymnastics. We really need to become pure devotees of the Lord. We really at least start endeavoring from today to chant the holy names nicely, to chant the mantras, to do the devotional service very nicely, with at least the aspiration of becoming pure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So I beg to all devotees that whatever I said enters in and doesn't become a pondrak for me. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Brinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.